Greetings, petrolheads! Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Now today I'm gonna be restoring this thing right here, the Bolton Grand Mojave, and the parts that can be tuning parts will be tuning parts. I bought all parts required to restore this car before starting this episode. So let's just get started. Why did I do this? Or like, why did I buy the parts before starting the episode? Because I think like it might be a little bit. I don't think it's particularly entertaining, you know, watching me in the shop buying all the parts I need for the restoration. I think it's a little bit more involving just building it, just doing the work rather than the preparation. I bought some custom rims as you saw on the first wheel that I did. I wanted to see how they look like in the flesh. They're alright. They're not. I mean, from afar they look okay, but up close, I'm not a huge fan of how they look. But it's okay. We're gonna sell this car anyway. But I felt like tune parts may give us more rewards. It may give us higher rewards, higher restoration bonuses. And therefore I made the decision that I made. Okay, now we're gonna be repairing the body frame. And let's start on the bonnet, shall we? I'm gonna get this over here already because we're gonna need to drain oil eventually. Please, just leave it. Thank you. So we have, of course, a performance air filter, performance ignition coils, performance spark plugs, pistons, everything, you know, the whole lot. I'm not gonna list it all up right here. I don't even remember all the parts. But yeah, this is gonna be a pretty fast car once it's done, even though it is naturally aspirated. And by the way, in case you were wondering, there's only this one option for not just this SUV, but also the pickup as well, because they have, I don't know, it's just a regular V8 engine, even mounted to a regular V8 gearbox, even though it's a 4x4 car. But it has a transfer case. It doesn't have a V8 4x4 gearbox, strangely enough. Yeah, I don't know, but these cars, this and the pickup, they don't have any other engine options available. So you can't really swap a different engine in there. You can't even swap another like new engine in there, which would be the same engine that you already have in there. But of course, when you do an engine swap, the engine you swap in is going to be new with 100% condition parts. So you would save a little bit of time, or a lot of time, on restoration. But at the same time, it would also be expensive. So, we are pretty much done with the timing part of this engine, which is the most annoying part on the modern V8, I think. And next up, we're gonna be handling the cam gears, camshafts, and the engine heads. We can't remove the pistons yet because we haven't taken off the oil pan yet. But that's okay, because we will once we get rid of this engine hit. And then that's basically everything we can access for now from here. Ah, I missed. There's another $100 down the drain. Or actually not down the oil drain. So let us see. Okay, there's that. Now I'm gonna go to the front suspension. And we have the wishbones up front. It is a multi-link rear suspension setup, so that's, I mean, for an off-roader, a pretty unconventional setup. Although, you know, SUVs these days aren't really meant to be going off-road. If you're gonna be going off-road, you know, multi-link rear suspension is okay, but the solid rear axle would be better. However, the big deal is that the wishbone front suspension isn't particularly suited to going off-road. It's not that good. But McPherson strut would be better. Oh wait, I messed up. Oh, I bought the wrong front exhaust pipes. That's okay though. Front exhaust pipe. This comes out like that. Alright, and get rid of this, and then that. Okay. We can access the starter already, because, I mean, why wouldn't we do it right now? So let's do that, and that, and this, and this. Might as well handle everything we can about the gearbox right now. There's no performance transfer case, is there? No. Because, you know, perhaps there would be... I guess there isn't a performance drive shaft either. The idea is, of course, that a performance drive shaft would make for less power loss, like more of the engine's power being delivered to the wheels, less drivetrain loss. But you know, it's not, doesn't exist. There's no such thing here. Okay, so okay, we're almost done dismantling the rear suspension entirely, and it's good because we're going to be rebuilding it up with new parts, of course. Otherwise it would not be very good, like if you're just gonna take it apart and leave the car without the rear suspension. You can't use it. You can't drive it. It's just sitting there without the rear suspension. Come on, thank you. Okay, now it's time to put everything back together with new parts. Wait, have I not put the front suspension back together? No, I haven't. Okay, wow. Put this back on. Okay. No. Okay. Now everything pops up again once we put the rear axle knuckle housing in. Everything's mounted to that. Everything's connected to the rear axle knuckle housing. Okay, I think we're pretty much done with the rear suspension. So I think I now wanna remove the pistons, then the crank, then the block, rebuild what I can about the engine, and then handle the front suspension, because we're also gonna be trying to put in a new front drive shaft, or the front drive shaft, front drive axle, which really only makes sense once we're done restoring the gearbox fully, but we can't do that if we haven't removed the crank yet and put a new one in. So a new block. new fuel filter, new ABS pump and module. Then battery, radiator fan. I'm a big fan of that one, of course. Right. Let's put the crank back in. And then the bearings, the bearing caps anyway. Now it's time to go to the gearbox. Again, there's no performance gearbox either. There's not a performance starter either. Although, you know, what would the performance starter be? Oh, I don't have a transfer case. Interesting. You know, start. Wow, that's expensive. Start the engine more aggressively, or what? What would the performance starter be? What would it do, rather? Right. Now, we're gonna start putting this back together. This front suspension. With double wishbones. And front drive axles. I don't have outer tie rods. Why do I not have outer tie rods? Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Now the rim is gonna be in my way with almost everything I do here. Especially the sweeper fronted link. But we made it. And now let's put the rim back on. This one. And then... Also, thank God there's no inventory space limit. Because otherwise I would probably not be able to have all the new parts and all the old parts in my inventory at the same time. No, we're not done yet on this side. Now we are. Yeah. We've done everything about the rear suspension already, so gonna rebuild mostly the engine now, and then, well, at the end of course we're gonna be fitting the oil pan back in and repaint this car. Performance pistons are already installed on this side. There goes the performance head. Here are some performance camshafts. Good, a new head here as well, and then some more camshafts. Sadly, there is no performance intake manifold for V8. There is one for direct injected 4-cylinders and also multi-point injected 4-cylinders. And there are performance carburetors, but no performance intake manifold for a V8, for a modern V8. Performance fuel rails, performance throttle. Performance spark plugs, of course. Upping your power output by 0.1% each. But hey, that times 8 is 0.8% more performance. This engine makes 385 horsepower stock. So that would be another plus 3 horsepower or so. It's not bad for some spark plugs. Shouldn't have put the radiator and radiator fan back in yet. They are in my way now. Good. So the ignition coils go back in there, but obviously new ones, performance ones. And then we do the same thing on the other side and we're pretty much done. Only need to fit the oil pan, give it some new oil, repaint it. Gonna dyno it as well. And just for fun do some ECU tuning, although that won't increase this car's value. Just to be messing around with it a little bit more, just to stay in practice, you know, just so I don't forget how to do ECU tuning properly in this game. Fill it up with oil here. Good. It is complete. Yes, it is. 78,500. We're gonna sell all the parts sending you to the paint shop. Yeah, sure. Painted yellow. Oh, it's missing the front fender. Front left. What? Oh, yeah, of course I saw that. Front left fender, right? Now it's worth how much? 95,000. Awesome. Go to the dyno. Test it now. ...681 horsepower. Remember, this made 385 horsepower stock. Oh, we have 4 ratios here. That's more difficult now. More difficult to bring 4 of these bars. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we do one more? There we go. Plus 18%. Let's test it again. 751 horsepower. That's almost twice as much from what it made stock. Sure. I mean, I guess we could test it as well before we sell it on a drag strip. But then I am gonna sell it because I need the money. Remember, this is all-wheel drive, so we should have good traction off the line. .6 quarter mile time. Despite a pretty bad getaway with quite a lot of wheel spin and a bad shift from first into second. So let's restart that. Remember that when Motor Trend tested the current generation Viper, the Viper GTS, the regular version, it did an 11.5 second quarter mile time, and this SUV just did 11.6. We can probably do a little bit quicker still though, if I don't mess up the start. .5. And a 20.5 second standing kilometer. That is really, really quick. Wow. And that in an SUV. Sure. It can be yours for just $95,000. That's actually quite a lot cheaper than a Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, which isn't as powerful or as quick as this car. So, well, could open up a business. You sell me your old SUV that you don't need anymore. I'm gonna be tuning it, like fully restoring it, tuning it, and then selling it for people who would like a new one that is also a lot faster. Would be a great business idea, just throwing that out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.